Okay, last time we were talking about the whole interracial marriage thing. We were specifically talking about Keith and his wife and the differences in the culture.
Oh, what was
You
that?
don't
we were
remember what you're
we
talking about? Yeah, go
we
ahead,
were
Paul.
talking about all the parties that
Mm.
your wife's family is always
Oh
holding,
yeah,
and you
yeah,
just want to stay at home.
yeah.
Um,
I'm
Scratch your
usually
butt.
yeah. What? No. I mean, usually there's a lot of things I like. There's a lot of things I would like to be working on. The 3D printing and some other stuff going on back there. But
Hmm.
you're an
um,
introvert, like you like your own space.
yeah. But I mean, I can handle social situations. Just more or less like to be on my own most of the time though. So yeah, there's those events. Other things, yeah, or when they come over here, it's like there's always that need of like, oh, we have to have food for them to be here. It's like,
Hmm.
why can't they just come and visit? Like, just like, I mean, yeah, I mean, if they're here for a while, sure, serve food, but why does it have to be meals? Just
Every
to be like,
time is a celebration. So
yeah,
It's how you show hearth. It's how you show
yeah.
wealth. It's how you show, the good things in life.
Hmm.
And it's something I want to adopt in my household. It's just hard right now with the babies.
Yeah.
it brings
Um,
joy. Food brings joy. You know, you don't have to eat it, but it's there.
I
So
feel well. I'm one of those things. I mean, as I'm a polite person, I do feel bad if like food is put in front of me and I don't eat it. Then, but
well, some cultures that is considered rude if you do not eat
Yep.
right.
food. Yeah. Okay.
What is the biggest kind of like I don't it's gonna be a hard time for me to get used to this. Uh Between you and your wife and then vice versa. What do you think is the biggest barrier that your wife has now that you're married together? Between
Like the
how you do things
biggest
and
cultural
how
differences and
yeah.
yeah, personality differences, upbringing.
There's a lot. It's a lot of small things,
What's
and
what's the biggest one?
What's the
What's the
biggest
biggest
small
one you can
thing?
think
I
of?
don't. I'm trying to think. Like we sometimes we butt heads on a lot of stuff.
I can give you one from my experience. Like
Yeah.
my wife, if there's a budget, um so like and I don't know if it's an inherently American thing. Given a budget, she gets really close to hitting it. She always hits it down to the cent, where she's like, I will spend
As much as I
as
can.
much as I can, given a budget, which she never really goes over it. But
Hmm.
like I was raised on never hitting the budget, always having a rainy day fund. Always like because that's how I guess Filipinos in my village are raised. Um it always is fascinating to me to see that because that's a very common place here in America. Um
And
and
for
I can
me,
never get over it.
I'm really close to my family. We're always doing things together, birthdays, Christmas, 4th of July. My wife, once she got out of the house, she wanted to be out of the house.
Yeah.
She sees her family maybe twice a year. She's
Mhm.
perfectly fine with that.
Yeah.
I see my family, 5 or 6 times, a month, you know. So,
Yeah. And
um,
yeah, that would I would probably fall into like your wife's category where it's like once I left the house, like I'm fine with not being there like a lot of times. But then my wife is like, we have to go do these things, family gatherings and such. And
so you feel like you're being dragged to different uh events and
so yeah, sometimes
gatherings and stuff.
I
Yeah.
think she told me about something recently that's it's like another one.
I
Hmm.
dragged my wife around, so she has family all across the country.
Hmm.
And before dating me, she's only visited her family maybe once in the last 5 years. But I'm a family guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm all about family. So just like your wife, I dragged Lauren to go visit her family. My wife's family in Florida, in Texas, and all these other states. We went through 3 other states just to see family because that's what family does. They stick together and they see each other. And
Yeah.
so I
Mm-hmm.
totally relate that to your wife. I'm all two thumbs up for
So is that the
Yeah.
biggest challenge, just being around her family a lot,
and
or
social, yeah, and
being
and going to
having
these events.
forced to be social?
Well, I mean, problem is sometimes when I go there, especially like they're mostly speaking. I can't recall if it's Urdu or Punjabi. I think it's Urdu. Like I'm just sometimes just sitting there on the couch. It's like everybody's just talking into a
Oh,
language. Like I'm
I
talking there, and
see.
so I'm usually just
I was like that
on the.
with my ex-wife, because she was Chinese, and
Chinese, yeah.
her grandmother barely spoke English, and
Yeah.
she would be looking at me and saying stuff to me, and I'd be like,
That
okay.
is that is awful. I've experienced that firsthand going to like Hispanic parties or
Mhm.
just parties that are not English, right? Like
Yeah, and they're all speaking
uh
their language. Yeah, and you're like
yeah, and
the odd man out. Yeah.
Yeah. So
surprisingly, probably because sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
no,
Um
no, go ahead.
surprisingly, I've always usually when that happens, I can't stand it. So I would
Mm.
make it known that I feel uncomfortable unless someone speaks to me in English or like I want to talk to people. Can someone talk to me? And I haven't been slapped across the face yet. It's like, no, like
So do
only
you
that language.
so do you feel like the uh for lack of a better word, the minority when you go to her family's house because you're the only black person there?
The pariah.
I'm only black. I'm Christian, and I'm like at the one point in time I wasn't really like they years ago they didn't want to accept me.
Mm-hmm.
So but it's
Yeah, the
gotten better
struggle.
since yeah, it's gotten better, way better since then.
Do they are they all married to other people of their own culture, or are you the only one?
That's diverted.
Out of her family, two are currently I think married
Including
to.
her, or she's the third one.
Well, I mean, I was like, so there's I don't want to list off particulars,
No,
but
no.
yeah, so two of our other family are married to Westerners. Uh
Yeah. Say, pretty safe.
Caucasian men.
and then yeah,
It's really weird how that's accepted in almost any culture in any race. If you marry
yeah.
a white guy, thumbs up. But
Uh
Yeah.
I would say not typically in certain Asian areas.
so, my
Well, it's
Chinese
I
ex-wife, it was fine.
is
Oh,
either your
oh
same
wow.
race or similar race,
Mm-hmm.
or the Westerner, the typical Westerners.
Mm-hmm.
Is 10. I've it's 10 usually like okay. But yeah, and then so yeah, one of them's unmarried, and I think the other two are married to the Saint Packy. So
Okay.
oh well.
Well, I mean, as long as you guys get to get along,
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
fine
family. Yeah,
now.
your
Like I said,
family.
I mean, they're offering me food and such, and I like we
Yeah, because
hold conversations when we do sometimes.
yeah, I don't think my ex-wife's family ever accepted me fully. I was
Mm,
always an outsider. Was
mm,
not invited to certain events, and some of her family refused to come to the wedding and stuff like that. So I felt it from the beginning, and it never really got any better. Some people would fake it, but you could tell they were just trying to be cordial or whatever.
Actually, yeah, that's
Right.
what it is.
Right.
One of her family members does not. I don't think does appreciates my presence. I met them once. They don't live here in the U.S., but they came at one point, and it's felt like they were blatantly like avoiding me. They said hello, did the pleasantry of hi, how are you? But then after that, it was like I it felt like they were now trying to be around me and also not trying to include me in any of the conversations.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Um,
that Key and Peele skit with the racist zombies. And they're like, whoa. But for some reason they're the only ones who are
Right.
not getting
Yeah,
chased
that's
by the
funny.
zombies.
That's funny. Well, good luck, Keith. I'm glad things are better. And love for all is all I can say. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
It's always
anyway,
fun for
yeah,
me to learn about like difference in cultures and barriers and stuff like that.
in the
yeah. I think it's definitely great to like to discuss things or at least to learn about other cultures. It's not and not try and to try and better understand these different
That's
cultures as
right.
opposed to
mhm.
trying to look at them as being like weird all the time. All those
Other
some
or yeah. Hmm.
yeah. Although sometimes there are some weird things, but it's nice to, talk about those things.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's Paulo.
That's Keith.
That's Otis.
And we'll see you guys on our next drop. Peace.
Later.